A web surprise for the webhead. Here's your look at the new Hasbro Mystery Web Gear Spider-Man. Spider-Man gears up in his new black and red suit to fight evil and defeat villains everywhere. Before we get a closer look at the Mystery Web Gear Spider-Man, who apparently has no name at all indicating which Spider-Man this is, I kid you not, I ordered a whole bunch of these over on Entertainment Earth's website, to which of course I can provide the link down below in the video description, but I noticed that all of the Spider-Man don't seem to have names telling you which costume it is. We know this is the classic red and black color scheme that he wears in newer movies, but it doesn't say anywhere on the packaging. Mysterio at least has his name, but the Spidey's names are nowhere to be found. Anyways, moving along though, let's first figure out how tall the figure stands. I'm going to take my trusty ruler, going to put it up to the top of his head. The figure stands at around 5 3/4 of an inch tall, or 14.5 centimeters tall. Then, for his accessories, he has one visible accessory in the packaging, and then he has another one that's a mystery. Actually, it's not much of a mystery. If you look at the packaging that the figures are contained inside, just behind this portal piece that's on the front of the packaging, if you tilt the package up in the store, you can clearly see what the secondary mystery web gear item is. Flipping around on the back, a couple of ones that you have available. There's a fist, there's like a torso kind of vest thing, kind of an energy attack, and then there's something that seems to be able to clip onto his face. All strange things that I don't think normally Spider-Man would carry around with him, but anyways. So as for the web gear item, which was again mystery, I would have thought that they would have put it inside of like a cardboard box or something inside that you would not have been able to see what it is, or like a plastic baggie. A plastic baggie would have made much more sense. Yeah, you just literally have to tip it up. Oh, it's right in there. I can see exactly what it is. By the way, what was it, in case you're curious? It was this kind of energy fist. It looks very strange because it looks like a severed off mummy's hand that's attached by like curly spaghetti to like, I don't know, like a handcuff of some sorts. How am I at describing things? Probably not the greatest. Strangely enough, it looks like he's got brass knucks on the end of his hand. Now, I've already seen Spider-Man No Way Home. Absolutely loved it. It was my favorite of the Tom Holland movies. Definitely would say check it out if you get a chance. I'm not going to do my best. I'm going to do my best not to spoil anything in these reviews. So I'm going to just sort of tell you that these are like energy effects that can attach onto his arms. Wow, that's vague. It is vague. Now, these clamp onto his arms the same way. So there's this one. This is the mystery one, right? Right. And then there's also this one. This is the one that you could see in the packaging, which is sort of strange. It looks like something I would have expected to see from like Labyrinth. It's like a 3-tip energy. I don't know. Is that a spike? Does this spin? Does this turn around pudding? I don't know. Anyways, it clamps the same way. It's made of translucent orange plastic, and it clamps around his forearms. So you can take the figure right now. It doesn't have to be, you know, if you go on this side, you go on this side. Doesn't really matter. I'm just clip it onto this side here. So he has this one, and then again, the mystery. This clamps onto the other side. There you go. And if you want to reverse it, you can easily reverse it. The thing about it, though, is you add one, you're already having problems. You're adding two, it really does give a lot of problems getting the figure to stand properly. I did notice that his one foot isn't completely flat. See this foot here? It almost looks like it's a little higher than the other. If I put my finger like that, doesn't it look like one's just a little lifting a little higher than the other? And that's certainly going to cause problems when it comes to figure standing. He does have technically peg holes on the underside of his feet, but these scaled-down basic kid figures tend not to come included with display stands. That would just be laughable. Expecting display stands with these figures? No way. It's not going to happen. But yeah, he comes included with these. I mean, yeah, you know, they serve... You know, as a kid toy, we have to factor that in. Yeah, this is something I'm sure kids are going to want to add on to the arms of Spidey. At the very least, it's not something that's permanently there. You're not married to these things. You can easily just take them off if you want to. And just leaving them off, you got yourself actually a pretty good-looking Spider-Man. Now, this is the Spider-Man, of course. He gets this costume into, Far From Home. I don't like the colors. I like the black and I like the red. The colors, to both their credit, are actually quite vibrant. Paint's pretty good and pretty clean for the most part. Like, you can kind of clearly see, like, his head isn't the same paint. Well, I guess this here is paint, and then the head itself is plastic red. So, like, the colors don't quite jive. Darker red down below, and as you get further up into the attic, clearly they're using just the red plastic. But it's certainly serviceable enough. That's a good-looking Spidey head sculpt. You got the little emblem there in the middle of his chest. Again, painted pretty decently, I have to say. For these being basic class figures, the texturing that they actually sculpted into the plastic is quite good, even when you see it from the back. Yes, the emblem on the back could have been just a little bit more cleaner, but still, at least to its credit, it's painted in white. As we get a little bit further down in the figure. Now, he does already have a pre-sculpted web shooting hand. That sort of is the requirement, I think, for all Spidey figures. That one of them at least has to have a web shooting hand. At least he doesn't have it on both his hands. The other hand looks like it should be gripping something, but again, for the accessories that we have to work with, he really doesn't have any other accessory to come included. Everything that he does get are things that are going to be clamping onto either one of his arms on both sides there. But yeah, paint's pretty good. I don't really have any complaints with it. A little bit of red there on the side, but that's fine. That's fine. That'll do, babe. That'll do. The thing about these figures, though, is while they do afford some articulation, decent articulation up at the top torso, they sort of just give away and just forget about it when the lower half comes in. So when it comes to like the lower legs, we can kind of talk about that already. Basic articulation, you're only going to be getting swivels back and forth. I mean, you can't even go all the way back because, again, his Spidey behind gets in the way of things. But yeah, you can have him in a seating position if you want to. It's kind of strange having his arms out like this. But yeah, he's only going to have this much articulation for the lower half. At least the top half gets a lot more than that, which we can talk about right now. The head is on a ball joint, so it can rotate all the way around. It can look up, it can look down, and it can also slightly rock back and forth. Happy to see at least that they're giving arm hinges to these in the shoulders, as opposed to just giving him 5 points of articulation, which basically would just be head, swivel, right? Arms, swivel, check, check. That's 3. And then 4 and 5 would have been the legs. That's 5 points of articulation. But no, he actually gets more. He gets much more. Well, moderately amount more. He does have the hinge there on his shoulders, so he can bring the arms out. Give him a nice big, comfortable hinge. Give him about a 90-degree angle bend, maybe even a little further than that. You can then take the arms, you rotate those all the way around. And in addition to that, while he doesn't have anything in the wrists, you can at least bend the elbows. That's always nice. You can rotate them back and forth. And there's Spider-Man's articulation. Yes, he could have also been given articulation in the legs. I mean, knees, you got to sacrifice something, right? Because, of course, they're wanting to push the Marvel Legends brand. You don't want to give them too much articulation that treads closely to the Marvel Legends stuff of articulation. But, you know, at the very least, if you're going to sacrifice knee articulation, I really wish at some point they would just give hinges on these legs. Be able to at least split the legs out, similar to what you could do with the arms. But, you know, as it goes, certainly for a basic class Spider-Man figure, the very least that they actually give him this much articulation in the elbows and the arms is something. I mean, it's something at least to be happy with. It's never going to be the day as it was back in the day when we were getting movie tie-in characters that were 3 3/4 inch and had super articulation. Those days are gone. But I got to say, though, it's a nice looking Spider-Man, even if you don't decide to display him with all the additional web, I don't know what you would consider these, web armor pieces. Again, we'll just clip one onto the arm, one side. And where's the other one? Where's the other one? There's the other one right there. We'll clip the one on the other side. There you go. You know, as a kid, and I have to look at this certainly through the eyes of a child, yeah, you know, a child will get some play value out of the idea that you can actually clip on pieces to Spider-Man's limbs. As an adult and an older collector, I may just pass on picking up this line. Although I got to say, like, sometimes movie tie-in figures are actually pretty fun. I did admittingly have a little bit of fun snapping on his armor, which I think actually the hand should probably be on this side if we're going by the rules of the thumbsies go in. Yeah, not a bad looking Spider-Man. Not a bad looking Spider-Man. Not much of a mystery, mind you. I mean, you could easily just take these figures off the pegs in the stores, look inside and know exactly which one that you're getting. I guess really, I mean, I ordered this online, so it was even more of a mystery as to which one I was going to be getting, but I guess I got the best of the batch, considering that the other ones are just torso armor pieces, things that are going to go over top of his face. I kind of like the big giant energy hand instead. They're probably going to be using these same accessories carried over to the other Spider-Man figures, and we'll certainly know 100% for sure when we look at the other Spider-Man tied-in characters, the other ones that I picked up over on Entertainment Earth. All right. I did cheat. Here in final looks, the Spider-Man spins around unnamed Spider-Man because there's nothing on the packaging. I've actually got him on a display stand. There's no way the figure's going to be spinning around already on its own without the web gear. You add one, there's problems. You add two, you might as well just introduce a new puppy to the household where you've already got an older dog. That older dog is going to start peeing all over the place. Not that Spider-Man's going to be peeing all over the place, but to be adding two web gears to his arms, forget about it. The figure's actually pretty good as a basic class Spider-Man. Still like that they actually did incorporate articulation into his shoulders and to his elbows. So you feel like you're getting a little something more than just those, those big figures that just have the 5 points of articulation. At least you get something a little bit more here. I wish still that these basic figures could have articulation in their thighs, a little further in the thighs. The knees, I mean, we can all be wishful thinking about all the things that we wish these figures could have, but knee articulation, I can give that up in favor of articulation in the thighs. If anything, put that in there. And then of course you've got the benefit, the sell of this as being the mystery web gear. It's not much of a mystery really. Mentioned already, you can easily look into the packaging. You know exactly what other web gear you're getting inside. Why didn't they even use like a black baggie? The more I think about it, the more I'm realizing, why didn't Hasbro just put the mystery item inside of a black baggie? It literally is inside the same tray as the weapon that's above it. One you can see, one you have to work a little bit harder, but you don't really have to work that much harder to find out what the other web gear item is. And I guess when you're looking at the packaging, I'm counting at there's four. There's four. I got the extended spaghetti hand. There's also one that attaches to his forearm, one attaches to his torso, one attaches to his face. And if you wanted to, I guess you could take four, if you have four different ones, attaches to one Spider-Man. And he's the Spider-Man everybody knows is coming because he's just riddled with bling. What do you guys think of these figures? Let me know down below in the comments section. It's strange, really, right? Right? No name anywhere on the package. It just says Spider-Man. And you're thinking, oh, it's Spider-Man. He doesn't really need a name. Until we start looking at the other Spider-Man figures, then you'll realize he needed a name. I mean, if you're asking for this for your birthday, Nana's out shopping for this, and you just say, hey, I need Spider-Man, Nana's not going to have any idea. She's going to ask the person that's at Target. Guy at Target's not going to know either. He's just going to know, hey, I got Spider-Man over here. Yeah, but he needs this lady. There's nothing written anywhere on the packaging. You're just going to have to blindly buy him a Spider-Man, hope it's the right one. But yeah, what do you guys think of the new Spider-Man lineup of mystery web gear figures? Let me know down below in the comment section. And if you are new to this channel, by the way, and you're liking the content that you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Turn the bell notification on so you get those friendly reminders whenever new videos are going to be popping up. And just an FYI, we are going to be looking more at the web gear, mystery web gear Spider-Man from the new Spider-Man movie. Even though it doesn't actually say Spider-Man No Way Home, we're just going to assume Spider-Man No Way Home. And of course, if you have seen the movie, one other thing, just to throw that in there as well. If you've seen the movie, don't spoil it for anybody down below. Don't be that person. Please don't be that person. Lots of stuff coming your way, guys. So as always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.